Ribrianne. Ribrianne, whose real name is Brianne de Chateau in the anime, is a warrior from Universe 2, and the leader of the Kamikaze Fireballs. Ribrianne's base form Brianne was created for the anime. As such, it does not appear in the manga. Appearance. In her anime-only base form, Brianne is a human-like slender young woman with shoulder-length green hair with an orange hairband with 2 pink gems with a white case outlining them on both ends and a pink dress with a white collar. She also wears a white belt, black leggings, and pink high-heel shoes. Upon transforming into Ribrianne, her more powerful alter ego, her physique becomes near spherically rotund and her skin color turns teal like her teammates Su Roa's and Senkaku. In this form, she wears a sleeveless red and green dress with a very thick petticoat and bloomers underneath it, yellow gloves and boots, and a rubber cap with an antenna-like protrusion. In her Super Ribrianne form, a pair of butterfly wings grows on her back. She also becomes almost comically affectionate in her transformed state. Personality. At her core, Brianne is an individual who believes in the absolute power and strength of love, like Helles. She sees love and happiness as the most important emotions and sought to win the Tournament of Power so she could ask the Super Dragon Balls to make her a goddess of love for all universes. Despite this, her initial idea of love is little more than just love for herself only and her teammates, demonstrating more care for outer beauty than inner beauty and a generally shallow understanding of the concept. This is seen during her fight with Android 18, as she finds it shocking that someone as ugly as Krillin is married to 18, though after being eliminated by her and seeing her and Krillin's happy relationship, she wonders if there are more types of love she was unaware about. In Legends, this belief in love above all led to her manipulation by Babidi, who amplified her thoughts and warped her into a love extremist, alienating even her own friends until she was eventually freed. She also likes to show off, attempting to capture the attention of all the tournament contestants for her team's transformation and being irritated by Android 17 interrupting them, despite hypocritically attempting to do the same to Goku's spirit bomb. In the manga, Ribrianne's shallow beliefs are exemplified, as she believes that one is weak and worthless if not beautiful. In a humorous inverse of her anime personality, she finds the bald and noseless Krillin to be the handsome one compared to the gorgeous and shapely Android 18, who she finds ugly in comparison. Despite usually having a calm demeanor and not being totally scared by strong enemies, such as Kale's legendary Super Saiyan transformation and Jiren's display of power, she is prone to insulting her opponents repeatedly when on the back foot, as well as possessing a low tolerance for insults herself. However, Brianne does possess respectable traits. Her belief in love reinforces her synergy with and care for the rest of Team Universe 2, especially her fellow Kamikaze Fireballs. She becomes enraged at Android 17 when he eliminates both Kakunsa and Vikal from the tournament with minimal effort and is further angered when 17 and 18 manipulate her into accidentally helping in eliminating Rosie. Despite being saddened by her own elimination, she continued to cheer and support her remaining teammates. Her charisma and efforts were such that she was able to fearlessly and happily unite all of Universe 2 into one last celebration of love before they were erased by Xeno. Biography. Dragon Ball Super. Universal Survival Saga. Brianne confidently answered an audition call for a spot on her universe's team for the Tournament of Power. On her way to the audition, she was confronted by 2 rival contestants who harshly judged her by her dainty pop star appearance and told her that she had no business auditioning for a martial arts tournament. Feeling insulted, Brianne transformed into Ribrianne and blasted the 2 with her pretty cannon. It is assumed that she then proceeded with the audition, as she was ultimately recruited into Team Universe 2. Having watched the incident through the Grand Minister's divination, Xeno and future Xeno seemed very impressed with Brianne's abilities. At the Null Realm, Brianne is seen with her allies, Senka and Su by her side, along with the rest of Team Universe 2. As the tournament began, Brianne, Senka and Su were caught off guard and knocked away by Nararama's extendable arm spin attack. Brianne is later seen briefly reacting to Kale's transformation, and then is seen standing ominously on a higher level of the destroyed arena, looking down at Goku, Android 17, and Android 18 with a smile on her face. After observing the damage done to the arena, Brianne called Senka and Su and told them it was time to show them their power. The Kamikaze Fireballs began to transform, only for 17 to interrupt by firing an attack on them. Brianne scolded the android for interrupting them and she was joined by Top. They then transformed without interruption and Brianne unleashed her light of love all over the arena until the attack was halted by Vegeta. Afterwards, Ribrianne clashed with the Scion as she traded punches with him and fired an energy ball at him. She then rolled herself up into a ball and charged toward Vegeta, who instinctively dodged her at the last moment and instead she ended up knocking out Dirasem, who had been facing off against Piccolo at the time. Although Dirasem hadn't been Ribrianne's intended target, she still considered the attack successful. She then interrupted Kakunsa's fight with Android 17, intent on helping her out, but the former insisted on fighting the latter herself, so Ribrianne let her fight him until she was knocked out of the ring, resulting in Ribrianne becoming enraged. She expressed her anger at 17 for his brutal ways and demanded that he identify himself, and he introduced himself and his intentions in a flamboyant way before Ribrianne announced her intentions. After they challenged each other, the two charged at each other, then exchanged tons of punches and kicks at each other before they clashed with another attack from each other and then continued clashing with each other for a while until 17 flew away to save Goku, who was at the mercy of Rosie's Yukina fist. Ribrianne then charged at the barrier, broke it, then got back to clashing with 17. After Suroas was seriously damaged by Goku, Ribrianne arrived to protect Rosie and then teleported away from the fight via Jaime's instant transmission. The two women then watched as Jaime's knocked Zerker out of the tournament with love and hope. When Frost was attacking Master Roshi, Goku tried to rush to his aid, only for Ribrianne to intercept and begin to fight the determined Scion. As the two of them clashed, Ribrianne declared that she will defeat him with the power of love as they traded punches with each other. She then fired a bunch of pretty cannons at Goku, all of which Goku managed to dodge, and then went back to trading punches with each other. Goku then fired some key blasts at Ribrianne, only for them to easily brush off of her, therefore having no effect on her. Ribrianne continued to go on the assault and pushed Goku back, but Goku knocks her aside. Ribrianne and Helles talk about Ribrianne wishing to win the tournament to obtain the Super Dragon Balls, wanting to wish to become a goddess of love, loved by mortals from all universes. Ribrianne asks for Goku's objective, and he replies he hasn't given it much thought, saying he might let his wife or sons take the wish, or he might wish to meet someone strong to fight. Ribrianne confidently says one of his wishes have come true, gathering the love from her teammates and Helles, becoming Super Ribrianne. Goku remarks he feels amazing power as he prepares to fight, dodging Super Ribrianne's love arrows. Super Ribrianne attacks Goku with Ribrianne Eternal Love, firing a huge burst of energy. Goku dodges the attack and, as Super Saiyan Blue, kicks Ribrianne through many rock formations to the ground, and she rolls to Jiren's feet. While Super Ribrianne backs off accusing Jiren of being too shy to confessing his love, Jiren pays her no mind and sets his sights on Goku. When Goku was charging the Universe 7 Spirit Bomb, she noticed that Goku was distracted and tried to attack him only to be blasted away by Vegeta. She then battled him until she went off with her team to take on Jiren after Goku disappeared and the Spirit Bomb dissipating. She then emerged from rubble and engaged in a rematch against Vegeta. Though Ribrianne fought valiantly, she proved to be no match for the Scion and Rosie had to come to her rescue. As Ribrianne and Rosie hid away from Vegeta, Ribrianne broke down into despair. Frustrated over Team Universe 2's constant losses, Ribrianne realized that compared to the other remaining universes she and her team were clearly outclassed and she began to openly doubt Universe 2's chances of surviving the tournament. Outraged at her leader's defeatist attitude, Rosie slapped Ribrianne and told her to never stop believing in the power of their universe's love, which motivated Ribrianne to find her confidence again. After resting up, she and Rosie decide to face off Goku after his fight with Kefla. Thanks to members of her team, she and Rosie send their attack, but are interrupted by Android 17 and 18. Ribrianne then faces off against 18, but during their fight, she ends up attacking Rosie by mistake, allowing the androids to take her out. Ribrianne turns into her original base form, Brianne, and binds Android 18 with her big amour. She then receives the love out of all the members of Universe 2 on the bench, and creates a giant Super Ribrianne avatar. She decides to strike down 18 out of the arena once and for all, but 18 frees herself from the big amour thanks to her love for Krillin, and she defeats Ribrianne. Once on the bench, Brianne starts to cry, but then notices Krillin and 18's happy relationship, and thinks to herself that maybe there are other types of love she doesn't know about. She and her friends smile for a last moment. Through Sour Staff, Brianne assures her worried universe that though she may be defeated, love will never lose, and encourages them to cheer on their three remaining warriors, Zerloin, Rabanra, and Zarbuto. Universe 2 lends their love to Zerloin, Rabanra, and Zarbuto, allowing them to transform into their own versions of Ribrianne, Kakunsa, and Rosie respectively. Brianne then watched them fight against Goku, Android 17, and Android 18 while using her love wand to give them strength. Ultimately, the last three warriors are defeated, and the Xenos start erasing Universe 2. Brianne smiles encouragingly as Helles and Pell praise the defeated warriors for their efforts. Brianne, Senka, and Sue transform into Ribrianne, Kakunsa, and Rosie one last time and thanks their universe for cheering them on. Team Universe 2 then makes a proclamation of love one last time before they are all erased from existence, with Sour being the only one remaining. Brianne is later revived with her universe when Android 17 uses the Super Dragon Balls to resurrect all of the universes that were erased. Brianne is seen crying tears of joy with the rest of her team as they are being cheered on by a crowd of people. Power. Manga and anime. In the anime, in base form, Brianne de Chateau shows a considerable resistance, as she could survive the attacks of Nararama and Android 17's energy wave. She also shows to hold enough power on her own to launch energy waves, including her trap power, Big Amour. As Ribrianne, she is able to fight on par with Super Saiyan Vegeta, though Vegeta found fighting her repulsive. She was also able to effortlessly eliminate Dirasem, though this was technically accidental. After becoming angry and powering up, she was able to match Android 17 and shattered his barrier with a single punch. She was able to match base Goku, who was not at full power, in combat, and was unfazed by his attacks. Ribrianne reveals her second transformation, Super Ribrianne, in which she grows wings and becomes faster and stronger, to which Goku responds by using more of his base form's power. In this form, Ribrianne is able to force base Goku on the defensive, however she is easily knocked away by Super Saiyan Blue Goku and utterly terrified of Jiren, whom she opted not to fight. Later on, she was overwhelmed by base Vegeta's ki blasts. She was able to fight on par with Android 18, however she reverted into Brianne when she was blasted by a powerful ki blast from Android 18. Her Big Amour was strong enough to hold down Android 18. Brianne reveals her third and final state, a giant Super Ribrianne battle avatar. Despite the increase in power, her energy wave was unable to break Android 17's barrier, and she was still defeated by Android 18. After her defeat, it was noted Universe 2 had lost its ace. In the manga, Ribrianne's might came from confidence in her beauty, from which she was initially able to pressure Android 18. As 18 began evading and resisting her various attacks, Kakunsa and Rosie jumped in to hold 18 down. However, when shocked that ugly 18 was married to the gorgeous Krillin, the knowledge rattled Ribrianne, making her power waver too much to harm Android 18. This ultimately let 18 break free and overpower the trio. This prompted Ribrianne to resign from shame at losing to one she deemed ugly. Ribrianne was ultimately eliminated by a sneak attack from either Damam or Gamasalas. Statements by authors and guidebooks. Her fighting style is reckless, charging, and throwing punches a lot. Brianne was a key player for Team Universe 2 during the Tournament of Power. Abilities. Ribrianne. Magical Girl Ribrianne is a transformation where Brianne becomes round and wears a pink jumpsuit with an antenna to become Ribrianne. In the manga, this is her normal form, as her Brianne form is not shown to exist. In Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Formation is depicted as a fighting pose super skill which allows Ribrianne to perform up to 3 poses, with the third and final pose restoring 300 ki, or 3 ki bars. This is due to Brianne being playable in Magical Girl Ribrianne form by default. Super Ribrianne. In this form, Ribrianne possesses a pink transparent like butterfly wing. Ribrianne used this form after receiving love from the love wands used by Helles, Kakunsa, and Rosie. Used only in the anime. In Xenoverse 2 and Dragon Ball Legends, Ribrianne briefly transforms into Super Ribrianne while performing Ribrianne Eternal Love. Giant form. Brianne is able to utilize this giant battle avatar of Super Ribrianne by receiving love from the entirety of Team Universe 2, aside from Rabanra, Zarbuto and Zerloin, Pell and Helles. This form is referred to as Lovely Love, Love Ribrianne. Used only in the anime. In this form, Ribrianne gets bigger, her Super Ribrianne wings develop to get more detailed, her dress opens a neckline at the center, and gets a belt with a heart-shaped decoration. In Dokkan Battle, this form is called Ribrianne, Giant Form. Supervillain Power. During the Raid Quest event, the Battle to End All Battles, Ribrianne can utilize the first stage supervillain state on the Glacier stage when Supervillain Power. Jiren, Full Power, uses a scatter attack that sends any time patrollers fighting him to the Glacier stage. She is connected to the rock-like crystal that blocks the gate leading to the Glacier stage, thus any damage the crystal receives will transfer to Supervillain Power. Ribrianne. Likewise, the crystal is connected to Ribrianne, so any damage to her will damage the crystal. As a result, once she is defeated, the crystal will break, allowing any time patrollers sent to the Glacier stage access to the Wasteland stage where Jiren is. If you want to support me, check out my Patreon at https://www.patreon.com/Kaioshin. I tend to polls that decide important plot stuff in my P at Trian. Many thanks to my awesome patrons. Ben Phillips.
If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later, bye bye.